really surprised that more people hadn't copied his model yet, but he
Well, I
came
just
in
think
with a
it's
lot of
too.
money.
It's very. I mean, it's just. It's you really got to sit down and like think
Dude,
about it.
believe me,
That's the
that's all we've
problem.
been doing is thinking about it. And like I've been thinking about it since it first
Well,
launched, and I literally just came to the conclusion of what it
there's
actually is and what it does.
there's a lot of people I think that already understand it. They just don't have the money to do what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like
Correct.
it's not actually tremendously complicated, but like he's put up a ton of money. Like he's
Oh
really putting his
yeah.
fucking balls on the line to do this, you know? And I think that's
But
like
the thing
really
is,
what, you know.
but the thing is, whenever that does have the potential of that die pegging, I mean, at that point, some of these people that didn't have the money might eventually have the money to at least run some sort of consensus in contracts of their own. Because launching is not too expensive, and yeah, correct, and that's exactly what I'm.
Exactly.
And then see, now I was already talking about going to BSC and Ethereum for my own reasons. Now it just makes even more sense. Well, I've already launched over there anyway, but
Yeah, it's I think
wild. This is wild.
a lot of there's already some people trying to do what he's doing, but they really just don't have the means yet, you know,
Right.
or the balls, one or the other. But it's inevitable that as the bull starts to
There's going
pop
to be
off,
people that can do it. Yeah,
yeah,
because they're gonna very quickly understand it, and they're very good to understand the decentralized mechanics of it, and then like literally just layering it all the way down, all the way up. You know, people that will be backing, you know, other product like A1A. You know, it's expensive, and then just a layer underneath that can protect that one. You
Right?
know,
Like,
it's just gonna be
why would
this
you ever
entire.
use any other chain, bro? When they can
No,
just be
you
sued at
wouldn't.
any fucking second.
You're literally seeing at every level too. We're talking about decentralized liquidity from the very bottom to the top. There's no other chain that's ever had that. You know, Ethereum didn't have that. Binance didn't have that, right? Like the Binance coin was launched on Ethereum before it moved to its own Binance chain. You know, the Binance didn't burn liquidity like we did. They didn't bond liquidity and burn it like we did, and we did that from the very birth of the chain up until now. And that's why you see these. You go to any other like a 9 millimeter, or go to our whatever, you can see how our liquidity, when you click on it, has A1A, Atropa, and they're all lined up. They're all in that same liquidity pool. Like you go to Binance, this is one token, one router, one thing, right? So it's just our liquidities in the way that they're bonded. And the same thing with Richards. Like if you click on the top one, there's all of a sudden there's 30 of them, and they're named uh, Cowboy Metaverse, Toyota Metaverse, Walmart Metaverse, and whatever underneath these weird names that he copied from BSC and Ethereum to build these deep liquidity pockets for what could possibly be this EVM, which is exactly what you would need. And the fact that he set them up, fucking some of them he controlled, some of them were that he was able to access through the rights of, I'm sure, voting on the chain that no one knew about, gave him the right to go into these folders and pretty much connect what would otherwise be unused liquidity. Like I dropped it in here last night. It talked about warp finance, and they knew that there was at least 4 years ago $1.4 billion of liquidity that they could access, but they just that was all that they could find. They were literally paying people like Coinbase and other people to try to find this liquidity. I don't know what ever happened to Warp, but I just know now, 3 years later, you know, we see Richard toying around with the same model, but unlocking billions and billions of dollars in liquidity that he's going to leave there because he's going to be interacting with it there, and we're going to be single-sided staking to it there, you know. And also, you know, removing the fucking if he's doing this, which I think he is, taking the DAI, SDAI, taking leverage out against it, and using that copy coin to literally make an LP token that can flash loan out the USDT, replace it with DAI, and then put it back down. And he's doing that with anything with USDT. So whenever there'd be another way for us to help us reach that dollar quicker, because whenever we do start getting onto everything does start kind of working in this little triangle of love, so to speak, of this meta chain, it would yeah, everyone's and giving them, and he's going over there building up their liquidity and their copies of their top tokens. So it's like all the copies that we have, it's like he seemingly might have given them their own copies too. So if something happened to Ethereum or Binance, it wouldn't matter because they have their own copies as well, and that's why uh, MakerDAO's also, whenever they did their copy, they took a snapshot of the proof of work chain. So they have their own copies of their own stuff. So if anything, it's like a fail safe in between. So if anyone's copies or anyone's chain goes down, that you still have these copies that are independent of that chain going down, or falling under some kind of government or centralization. It's beyond brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, this type of shit takes years to plan, and
Has
we
to,
we
man.
found shit going back, what,
4 years ago.
2020? Yeah, so I
Yeah,
mean, this shit's been in play for at least 5 years. I mean,
correct. Like literally putting up contracts and yeah, and filling them up with money just let them sit there, knowing that someday he would have to come back for it because he was going to make his own chain. What do you think? Oh shit, maybe. I think it was probably both because some of the stuff that he's untapped, some of this liquidity that he's untapped is like very old bridge hacks, like very old like stuff that you shouldn't be able to untap without. Yeah, like
I mean, I
and
honestly think it's more of just a macro play. It just didn't make sense to launch earlier.
yeah,
I mean, you usually have, the first couple months are good, and then you have a fucking 85% retrace for
kind of
fucking
yeah.
forever, and then you go back up with the bull market. So
But
I don't.
it's almost like they kept it down. They kept the price down for all these bots to do what they needed to do too.
True.
Because I mean, like very early on, these
Also, put
bots.
the caveat in that with these chains, unless there's a continued effort to build the chain even after the dip,
Right, like to go
that's
to
the big
Solana
thing
and
that
then get
turns
them
them
back.
back.
Because what I mean, we already know that Maker wanted to fork Solana. So what if there's another? There's still more that will unfold even after this. What if that makes it even more private, um, and even more
The
onboarding.
more, yeah, the more chains that they can tie together in this fashion, the stronger the decentralization of it all is, because it doesn't matter then, even if world governments got together in a concerted effort to squash bugs, they could take an entire chain down and there'd still be another chain to jump up. It's
Correct.
still that cat and mouse game. It's just on a grander scale than we can imagine.
Right, but that's why
This is new world order shit.
But so
well, yeah,
okay.
we're
So Ray, I
front
have a
running it.
question. Did SDI, was that SparkFi? They launched.
Yeah, that's sparked
They
out.
launched
Yep.
2 days before SparkDAO launched.
Yes.
2 days before pulsechain launch. Do you
Pulsing, yes.
know were they done development well before that, or that they
Yes,
launched full
100%. They
development
had, yeah,
for?
no. No. Phoenix Labs, his own Sam's other company. They were well under like they were well overdeveloped and like ready to go. Like everything was written in the white papers of the end game already too. Like how the bridging was going to work, and it just kind of it
Because
didn't allude.
the timing of the when that happened, I'm just curious if you think RH was waiting for
Correct,
SparkDAO
100%.
to get
Yeah,
developed
he needed
before he
yeah,
launched.
yeah, yes, because he needed SDI. He needed SDI to do the
Yeah.
flash loaning and shit
So
like that. So
I
he
think
needed
that's
that.
really what we were waiting for the whole time. I mean, the
I
macro
agree.
makes
Thanks.
sense too, but we needed
No,
SDI for all this shit
it's
to go
definitely
down. So like,
yeah. Well, yeah, we need the SDI and yeah, because we needed a way to wrap die up and use die as the model, because regular die you can't flash loan it. Like you can't loan it out because it's a 150% collateral. So when you do a flash loan, you get 66 cents to the dollar. So that's what's protected die for so long. So now they have S die, but now they have die. You can't get S die without die, and as long as you have die protected, you have S die protected because S die is worth more than a dollar, regardless. Um, so it's like it's another fail safe in the system, and then eventually you'll have actually wrapped die. So and like this ability to build your own front end and then do your own flash loaning if you want, like it's pretty massive. Like that's what you can literally do that right now. You can build your own fucking MakerDAO front end, and you can use your own, like you could literally use DAI and SDAI to do these flash loans and things with. But people just don't know how to do it, and they don't don't realize that this stuff's already in play. But that's what Richard Hart is doing. He's doing it on BSC, right? He's like literally went over the BSC and he's doing, utilizing these protocols. He sent Compound, he sent Lido, he sent all millions of dollars, and we didn't know why a couple months back. It's because he was getting ready to start utilizing their protocols for loans and stuff like that to get into these deep liquidity pockets and start doing what he needed to do to set up these massive deep liquidity pockets for across all these chains for now. What
Did you
I
think
would
the 300,000 or no 300 million DAI that was sent to Coinbase, was that ever linked to any of this, or that's completely unrelated?
No, I think that was sent there because what's going to happen is it's going to peg to $1, and then they're going to use that as a way to Coinbase will then come.
Did it again.
But he did send it to the Sins wallet. So I mean, it might just be Sins that get the but Coinbase would literally have to unlock DAI for them to access that. So
Sorry,
it would
guys,
be
the
sitting there
alpha
for
was
them.
too hot for you to actually understand. That's why the microphone died.
No, 100%.
No, it makes sense. But you think?
But yeah,
I mean,
dude, I
it would.
forgot about that. That 300 million died. That's huge.
Yeah. So
I mean,
I just couldn't
yeah,
remember
with
if that
everyone
was
getting attacked by
from
the
an.
SEC. No, I don't know if it was from. I think it was just a point of Richard or someone making that. Hey, I'm sending this to them, right? Because maybe y'all need to be paying attention to it because anyone that's an OG knows about the Stens Foundation and that the tie to Richard, right? Now, yeah, it could have been someone, but even at the time, it was worth 200 or 300 grand, I think.
Was it
So it
that
was no
much?
small amount of money.
Damn.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
I thought that was way earlier on, but
It
I
also
don't know.
gives Coinbase a reason to flip the switch and enable trading for pdai,
That's what I'm saying.
which
Yeah,
if you'd get
exactly.
Coinbase to do it, the rest will follow suit.
right.
And then
It's
what are
just another
they
one of
doing?
those.
And they're
Yeah,
selling it at
it's
a
just going
dollar.
to be
They're
another one
selling
of
it
those.
at a
What are you
dollar.
going to do?
And
Yeah, what are you
that's
going
gonna
to
be a
do now
massive
that
adoption,
DAI's on
bro.
pulse?
From
And they've been attacked by the SEC too. So it's just like if everyone's getting attacked by the SEC, and now there's all of a sudden this ability to access this. And no, he's watching the chain long enough to even know that if he has a deep liquidity pocket there, he probably does. Same thing with fucking any other AVM chain. He's probably got his bots over there too. Like this might be way bigger than the stuff that we've just been able to see. Because it would make sense to go to Base with Base's own chain and do the exact same thing there that he's been doing all along. Now, yeah, maybe Base came out later, but doesn't mean he can't do it or didn't have the ability to do it. I'm gonna go look whenever I get back to the rig and see if there's some of those crazy contracts. Because seemingly he's been using those 5 wallets for everything. 71C1,
yeah, I just couldn't
D539, whatever it
remember
is.
if that transaction was tied to any of his wallets or not. Because if it is, then
I don't know,
that's
but it happened really early on. I mean, and then all the
right.
other stuff that we know, all like the stuff that the Verse Money Gain Crypto, but they found with him making the first liquidity pool pairs, all the money that flew into the pdai that we had proof that it was coming from some of his wallets early on, certain actions and certain benevolent behaviors from there on out, and then it just went radio silent while they were waiting for Spark, and then once Spark, who's been around and had stuff on our chain for fucking a year and literally transacting on our chain first before going to Ethereum and going to these other things. Like it was just,
Yeah. I'd
it's
also
like
be
we don't.
curious to know, because I don't think I ever heard if that 300 million was purchased or if it was copied over. Because if it was already sitting here at Fork, that
Oh my
means
god.
a massive wallet fucking sent it,
Yeah.
a ton of DAI. But if someone just bought it up and sent it, then it's,
Yeah.
they could
Yeah.
have been just doing it to fucking scam someone over there. Who knows? I don't know. Well, I guess no, that doesn't make any sense because it's got to be unlocked.
Because
I don't know
if anything,
why.
if it's gonna hit $1, they're not scamming anybody.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
This is Rick. Regardless, it's, I mean, even if they try to, why would they dump 300 million? Yeah, the Sin Foundation is going to do they're good with it. But yeah, it might have been in the tips and grab, but either way, it's just another piece to this intricate community and puzzle that we have, and the people involved.
Yeah, because if a wallet with 300 mil just sent over their copies right off the bat, like, or that's what they sent, they didn't buy any.
Well, now see,
I mean,
and the thing is, if it was right off the bat, the die was actually worth $20 at the time. So you're talking right
well,
off.
it
If
wasn't
it
all
would have
right off the
happened,
bat. It was a couple months, I think, in.
yeah, oh, okay,
I
because
think it
like
was in
literally right off the
August it
bat,
happened.
die was at $20. So everyone that had their copy, shit, yeah,
Yeah, it happened.
someone,
I think it happened in October, or like August, September
right.
timeframe, maybe. I don't know.
No, I
It was.
think no, that's when they found it, but it happened way before that.
Oh,
I think
really?
whenever yeah, so like whenever 9 Iron and they are like they showed it, I think they said that it actually happened really early on, but this actually,
Like before
it
price, like
yes,
ratio
I believe
trade days.
so.
Oh, fuck.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how far back. Yeah, I think, but it was before. It was like right after the launch of the chain, maybe.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm sure that. I mean, this is before. This is whenever we were still trying to figure out, how to take 2 steps and still walk straight. A lot has happened since then. Clearly, I mean, and that's the thing, right? We needed they needed distraction and diversions a little bit, like the way that the Atropa Dev Nav finally came out, right? He knows that it's built. He knows that, in my opinion, that's his sign of going, okay, it's ready. Like my part of this is done to protect die with Atropa because of the botting system and the way that everything works. Just the way that they don't have to chase around things. They can just literally trade at the top of their waterfall to keep die protected from any type of
Yeah.
um,
But the thing
degenerate
is, though, I mean,
behavior.
I feel like it's got to be coming. 'Cause we talked about this the other day. It's got to be coming sooner rather than later because
I agree.
it's only a pulse chain can only stay at these levels for so much longer. So
Yeah,
it just makes sense if you're trying to get people rich, which is what he's basically said. He wants to make the most millionaires ever. I mean, you would pump it to $1, then you would while pulse is low, because then it's just a leverage play
right.
on the
Because
liquidity
because yeah,
bonding.
So if it does try to depeg or go back down, then you start pumping pulse. You do a huge liquidity bond, and then you start pumping pulse. The 9 Iron touched on this the other day, saying how he believes that there's going to be a 20x backing in die, which meaning he means that like I told y'all, like how much do y'all think it's going to be worth? I said 22 billion. And y'all told me, like, I said it's gonna be 20x over leveraged. Like there's literally gonna be enough die to literally back it 20 times. And he came out with that said something that very similar, and he actually proved why he thought so. And that's just by Richard using his 90%. Not even all 90% of his Pulse and Pulse X, and he starts bonding with it, and then that's his leverage play on protecting it as well.
Bro, I wish we could get 9 in these things because
I,
he's a
well,
big
yeah,
brain too. Like he
he
probably has
clearly
the
no,
pieces of the puzzle.
he's definitely listening to it. Uh,
Yeah, like
Maybe,
his blockchain sleuthing is you and
dude,
you,
he's next
Rig.
level.
I don't know. He might got you beat, Rig.
Oh, 100%, dude. Him and his brother are super fucking smart. But like, yeah, I'm not a blockchain. I'm not. I could stare at that stuff for a while. But yeah, that dude can like dig in between and
Like that original map
around
that he
and
drew, I was like, bro, you know
oh my god.
how many people have
Oh no,
no idea what the
that's
fuck they're
Maker.
looking at right now?
That was Maker DAO's. That came from Maker
Yeah,
DAO's
yeah.
page. But yeah.
Oh, it did. Okay,
Um,
I thought he did it.
Yeah,
Like,
no, he didn't. That's some crazy next level. Like, yeah, no, that's actual MakerDAO. If you look at MakerDAO's main page about how DAI worked, he was just trying to show that this is why it's working in the contract, and this is what you can see. So all of that is
right, just
seemingly is
building the
not even
framework.
needed.
Yeah.
Like the thing is like some of that stuff isn't even needed, but he was just showing that in case it will be. Richard might utilize it in a way to back it. So if Trope is backing it that way, then he's still backing it the normal way that DAI would always be used, and just having another utility within the ecosystem as we know, DAI, their MakerDAO itself is, no longer going to be maker, but since he owns the contract, he could easily change the an add to what can back the actual ecosystem of the DAO, and what liquidity can go in there, and I mean what collateral can go in there, and what can be used as the incentive token inside that play too.
Wonder why gas is so high right at the moment on Pulse.
What's that?
It's because of Solid X, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Good old pulsechain. Yeah, man. It was a hell of a conversation. That's just like y'all said. I mean, the timing of our stuff, like the things we've been uncovering like day by day, and then then all of a sudden there's like we have the AMAs, and then all of a sudden we have the the spaces, and it's just like the day before, the day of, where I found some of this stuff out. Like it's been pretty insane. Like the timing of it is like almost like, all right, like that alone should lead me to believe that I'm doing the right thing for the right reasons, and just to try to get the word out there to let people know that this is what we see and this is the opportunity that we think that we have, and do with the
And you
information as you
always
will.
preface, not financial advice, but
No, I always tell you, man. I'm always really good at control. I'm really good at making myself sound, also, sound smart, but I am a fucking geologist on an oil rig, so I'm in no means a financial advisor, or I wouldn't be doing that. So
I am a financial advisor. No, I'm just kidding.
you missed everything, Spines.
No, I was here. I was in another voice chat, so I was here on my
Good.
alt account. I just
This
switched
is
account.
blowing. Blowing fucking minds, dude.
Yep. Just keeps getting deeper and deeper.
It does. Super excited.
Oh yeah, me too.
God damn! It's like, what the hell? Just the level of opportunity and just the fact that all the stuff that he's been saying in his tweets, it's not trying to like come back at people or throw them under the bus or make them feel bad. He's like literally been doing and building things that are going to change the fucking face of finance, at least for us, forever, to where we would never have to leave. We literally landed in the right spot for the right reason, and stuck it through. And those are the ones that he always wanted to make it. I mean, it was never going to be easy. It's been 3 years of this, and just we kept the faith and kept showing up. And I think that the market rewards those that do so, usually, just in general. But I think this is a whole nother level, and a whole nother layer to that of, yeah, it's the rising the tides, and it's just the yeah. I think again that's why I believe that he took that 8 billion of Hex, is because he's going to give them another copy and another opportunity, and they're probably still going to get mad and fuck it off. But I love Hex. I think that the community itself was what was needed at the time, and some of them adapted, and it like Richard adapted, and that was always his thing. If you're not able to adapt your worldview to the things that are happening at the time, it's adapt or die. And I feel like some of them adapted, and others just they stuck to the old narrative, thinking that was going to be the play, and that was going to be what was going to be the life-changing opportunity again. But it's just sometimes things change, and pulsechain is bigger than was bigger than Hex, and then what's going on now is way bigger than pulsechain. So like I'm not even worried about my pulsechain bags. Like my bags in general are, it's like, so it doesn't even matter at this point, because I already know where this is. If this is going where I believe it's going, like all that's irrelevant. Like those bags are going to be the 10,000x that he was talking about. Is I'm telling you, everything's going to 10,000x. Like even their bags. So if they just hold on to them, they could be okay. Bridge them over to Pulse.
That's what I'm
They'll
saying,
be
bro.
fine.
I mean, if everything flies
They
the
have
way
nothing
it
to worry
should,
about.
then yeah.
That's probably going to do the most
If
X's.
they
It's going to end up
peaked
doing the
too
most
early,
X's.
bro, they were the non-believers, the 50 weekers, bro.
Yeah. I mean, the one on Hex the one on pulsechain might. The one on Ethereum might be the one that if once it's
Hey,
bridged over, might be the one that actually does the most.
his tweet was 50 weeks, by the way, which would put it at what, end of April. So what's coming up?
Yeah, it was right around the halvening. So yeah, like literally around the halvening. Everything like, dude, how
I'm
huge is
telling
that?
you, the 28th of
Hey, Rick.
April. I'm telling you.
There you go. Yeah, you were here.
Rick, check
You were here.
your
You were
DM real
right.
quick.
You were fucking right. You were right about that, Solus.
Yeah, but the halving is the 20. I think it's the 21st. If I
Okay.
just look at it.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, you
having
said the
is the
28th.
20th, I think.
You're like, it's gonna peg on this day, and I'm like, yeah, no, man, that's a little quick, bro. You're like, no. You're like, you'll see. And
Yeah,
that
we'll
was
see.
before.
But so it's gonna be like 1 week after the halving. Let's say.
Yeah,
We'll
because
see.
he's gonna
Well,
drop this
Pulsechain
news,
was
or
forked on halving the last halving. Originally I thought it was a play on Bitcoin, some sort of
I think it is because
homage.
if he pegs PRAT BTC, the only other thing that he's missing is a bridge to Bitcoin, and that will be the last thing that he needs for a huge onboarding opportunity from Bitcoin into an EVM privacy chain, which is exactly what they want because their chain's being taken over by an ETF. So it literally gives those guys a way to onboard into an EVM privacy chain, to be in a chain that literally is going to be interconnected with the most protected and well renowned ecosystem and stablecoin known to man. And that doesn't even have to be, and even just them being connected to it alone is great. Bitcoin maxis will always be Bitcoin maxis. But if he pulls this off at the end of the day, they're going to have to once again tip their hats and kiss the ring because he's giving them an out.
No, they have to kneel. You know how he likes to. You know how he likes to always say kneel.
No, go ahead. You got to put some screenshots in the chat. Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, he's not lying. Like, go look at the ratios. It's literally it likes to stay at a relative range of like 27 to like 40 something thousand DAI per Bitcoin. So I was telling people randomly there will be an arbitrage opportunity in there, but at the same time, yeah, DAI is definitely going to peg first before Wrap BTC, and it's a
Yeah.
good play. It could even be as low
I
as
like.
$5,000. We don't
Yeah,
know
a
until he
Tropa
posts.
PWTC, a little bit of die, a little bit some of that pdai. Man, then you got Teddy Bear that's gonna also do great. You got the Circle Two is clearly has its
But
own little.
but in
Own little
terms of Wrap BTC, you guys got to remember there's a lot of value being unlocked from it. So what might happen is you might see the DAI value slowly go down to like 17 to 15,000 before it starts actually really pumping. Because I think what's really going to pump it
oh
is
yeah,
once DAI's at $1, it's going to start pushing it up a lot further.
right. But it's crazy because like the Tropa bots, the bots that are going to be working with the Tropa, and the way that the scale of it to keep it where it needs to be. As it reaches certain levels, it can literally keep it, and that might be have been doing that the whole time, and we just
Yeah, I
haven't
mean,
really
and
realized it.
it's a fixed rate. It's 154,000 supply, bro. I mean,
Right.
that's insane. I'm
Oh
pretty
yeah, yeah,
sure RA's
yeah,
already owned most of it
yeah,
for a
yeah.
while.
He does because at the very beginning of the chain, he went into MakerDAO and he sold. He was buying it at like literally like fucking overpriced value. Like he was like giving them hundreds of thousands for all their shit.
I think the
But
top
that's what.
wallet owns
But yeah.
20%.
But if you look at all the P stables, all the P copies, everything else is way like has extra zeros. The only one that doesn't have extra zeros is that one. You know how like if you look at Chainlink's copy, it has 600 million or whatever when it should be like 6 million. Only Rat BTC is the one that's not fucking 14 billion. It's still 154K. How the fuck is that? It's actually the exact same value as it is on
Wait. You're just blew my mind. Hold on. So
yeah, okay,
what's the
okay.
supply for the link?
Okay, for Link, okay, it's gonna be way more, right? That's why it's way cheaper, right? The supply for Link is way more, so it's cheaper.
No, I don't
The
think
only
it's like
copy.
that, Rick. Hold on, let me
Yes,
check.
it is. Yes, it is. There's a massive supply increase on all the copy versions.
What the
Look at
fuck?
look at the P stables. Why is there 22 billion pdai, right? But why isn't there fucking an increase in that one? You know, it should be at least a million x higher. Everything
But
else is times a
that
million.
all minted post fork. Like
Yeah,
it minted the same time DAI was minting, and then it or did
He
those.
said he was going to do that. He never said it was all going to be copied the exact same way. He said
correct. Yeah,
ratios would be
that's the only
fixed.
one. Yeah, that's the only one that I know of that was. There might be others, but that's the one for sure that I know. And obviously the P stables,
No,
he
Rig.
wants them to inflate.
Rig. It's a billion max total. I just checked both. I'm checking both of them right now. It's max total of
Okay,
1 billion for both.
for both
For
what?
for Chainlink.
Okay.
Yeah.
On you're talking about Chainlink on Ethereum, it's a billion, and it's a billion here too.
Yep. I'm gonna check both sides for
Okay.
Maker right now
Okay.
too.
So only the stables got inflated then,
Huh.
which is
Interesting.
interesting because that's where the real value comes in. That's huge.
Interesting. All right, let's check this out.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so the forked values on the other contracts are the same maker, equal values, Chainlink
Okay.
equal value.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look for like a degenerate. Look at Pepe. Go to
Whoa.
Pepe and Pepe
Yeah. Okay,
and,
I'll do that.
and see if
Hey,
those weren't inflated.
look, even Aave, P-Aave is the same supply like Aave
Yeah,
on
Yeah.
Ethereum.
Aave.
Perfect. That's what we need. But why would he increase the? Oh yeah, that's why he would increase the stables because he knew he was gonna have a shit ton of them.
Right.
Holy
I
Even
mean,
if
shit!
he
it's
increase
either
the
that
just
or
like you
people
And
can
said,
have
if
more
it's easier to
love.
peg it. It's easier. It's easier for them to peg to the ratio that they need whenever they're at the right value. The stables don't matter because the stables are stable.
yeah, but just like you said, if you can print infinite money, you want to inflate the supply of pdai and USDC and USDT. Like this, you have so much supply, then you can pump even if much easier PAV, Chainlink, and
You
Shiba Inu,
can
whatever.
collateralize it by 20 to
And you
1,
and you
like you said,
that yep,
you inflate
and you
it.
can front run. You can front run fiat hitting
And
our
you can
face.
also not worry about burning however much you need for the math.
Correct. Exactly. So when the masses come, they don't have to mint anymore. It's already here.
The mathers.
So I have a question. The minting bug, right? That came from the fork, or was that introduced? Did that
No,
exist on ETH?
that already existed. Yeah, because DAI always had a mint function because that's how it worked.
So
A
you would
burn
think
and turn.
RH was anticipating people exploiting that, and then once it got to a certain
Yeah.
number, they made the vote to
Yeah.
shut it off.
Exactly. Correct. Because they wanted it to reach a certain number, 100%. Because they needed that value, 100%.
Yeah, I
And it
mean,
might, and hey, the thing is, it might not have been exploited by just random people. It might have been them.
yeah,
That's also
but by this line of thinking, the other idea that we had about the implementation token burning the supply down,
correct.
we wouldn't that wouldn't make sense. It
Wouldn't
would
even
be
matter. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think he needs to burn the supply down. I think that's all because now it would be irrelevant. I mean, not irrelevant, but he could still peg it without it having to reach like a 1-to-1 type of ratio.
This is why it's called alpha information. Subject to change. Adapt or die.
Or he could bring the supply down like you said, like we mentioned before, and then the minting can resume. But in my opinion, they don't need it to mint, and then social consensus alone will bring it to its peg.
I mean, yeah, and
So
in theory, if
it'd
he
be
can get it jump
irrelevant.
started, he can basically do the implementation method, bring the
Right?
supply
Or
down, and
turn
then
it into S die.
you could always
He can literally just turn
vote
it
to
into S
change
die.
it back to have minting again. I mean,
Correct. Or no, he can just
he
literally
really
wrap it into S die too, and then be making fucking more die on the side. Like takes all that fucking die, turns it into S die, and then it's literally its own collateral as well. You can literally use that S die as a backing for the die. Didn't even think about that. Especially when it hits a dollar. When it hits a dollar, you can take fucking 10 billion of it, throw it in a liquidity pool with 10 billion die, boom. Damn. Yeah, I think he's left himself open for a bunch of angles, which would only make sense for our age. It's never just one thing that could. It always seems to always have a fail safe.
Backups on redundancies.
Yeah. Damn. Right before the AMA. This is exciting stuff, guys. I don't know. Like, I mean, God, man, it's. I'm happy I started deploying my contract.
Yeah, we should have had pulse trends launched 6 months ago.
Yeah, maybe. That's okay. I was always apprehensive about starting. I didn't know that things were gonna blow up the way that they have. And I'm sure after the AMA tomorrow, and then once the word spreads, it's only gonna get even bigger. So um, at least we were able to prove that we were able to do this through a community build rather than a token build first. I think that that's always a positive outlook on it. Like, yeah, okay, maybe it sucks, maybe we lost a little bit of value there, but we were able to at least get a strong community backing us and people here that I'll make sure I look out for the launch, things like that. So because as long as the people that are here, those are the ones I'm always gonna look after. So
You know what's funny?
we don't need a lot of people. Yes, yeah, it is. It's 100%. Yeah, community is the utility, my
You,
friends.
you know what's funny is like all what you're talking now, the pdai pegging or the PRC going to parity. This is just the beginning. This is just the foundation, the structure. Then
Yes,
after this we can move on. Then after this, what's gonna happen, like, because this is just the floor. What's going on. When pdai going to $1 is just the floor, it's just the beginning of the beginning, like. So, and then after this is gonna be much I don't know what's gonna happen after
the
that,
meta
but
chain. Yeah,
Bro, you're gonna have so much money
I
to
do. It's the
invest
meta
and just
chain. The privacy chain. The privacy chain itself. The single-sided staking that we've always wanted is going to be there because it makes sense because you're actually providing liquidity to a single side of a meta chain. It's all going to fall into place, and it's all been built, I think, and I think it's all ready because this what the testing that we've seen and done. The Spark swap, their bridging technology is instantaneous on BSC. Spark, this what seems like they're could then do the same DAI. It's clearly the same people. Like EMP literally stands for empowering DAI. So literally what it says in front of Spark's website is, Spark Finance, Spark DAO, and EP empowering DAI. And the company or the people that came over from BSD, they were called EMP. It's like there was always these little trails that people could follow and trace from the sacrifice that they played through Winter's Mute down into that money in there to make DAO longer DAO, giving up to technically hand it over their protocol because they're no longer going to be a relevant lending protocol with Spark. With him buying the $400 million worth of SDAI and using the SDAI as leverage, as flash loaning these things out, sending the $1 million to Lido, the $1 million to Compound, and then inside these.
Told you guys, the alpha's so hot it breaks Rick's mic.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, I saw a tweet from a fucking mystical space cat on Twitter the other day that I shared here. It's like, this cycle's play, purchasing of Fortune 500 companies. What if we just saw the purchase and acquisition of crypto's version of Fortune 500?
That literally, and they're front running everything. They're front running the fiat coming. They're front running the the government company, they're front running any type of fractionalized, token that might be involved in flash loaning it out and making sure that it's not there. So whenever we reach the peg, it makes sure that everything reaches parity as it needs. They keep USDC in. They bring AUSD in, so another Bitcoin backed stablecoin. Just the things that they're doing, the moves that they made, at burning $1 billion worth of DAI out of the ecosystem before I need to still get, because they know that they have 22 billion sitting back here. Just literally becoming the minting press of a wrapped version that can only be, turned back on through another type of consensus on another chain, before it can actually be turned into real DAI. It's just like, then that chain itself has a version of this ecosystem that's built on top of DAI, that has accumulated DAI at a very low value, to where it can literally, whenever DAI reaches a certain level, it's able to literally maintain that peg and make sure that it can't be hurt or harmed on levels on its way up. So it can literally make sure that the bots can't flash loan it out or do anything that can harm it at any time, because of the waterfall effect of the robots and the way that Atropa works from level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, so these bots can just literally peg it and ping it where it needs to stay. And that's the whole, dichotomy, and the thing for Atropa is so much bigger, how important Atropa is. And like what it does, and like the forefront of the forward thinking that it must have taken anyone to even attempt to come up with that, knowing that the bots would be there, knowing that the amount of bots that are here, that's millions of dollars in servers, the bridging, that's millions of dollars,
That
this is nothing that just happens overnight.
The $40 expectations, that's gonna be a lot higher than that.
No, out of zero.
Yeah. Buy more Tropa.
Yeah, literally buy more Tropa. That's not a fucking joke or a drill. Like, I was telling people that $40
100%.
makes no sense when it's going to be absorbing values for a year and a half to try to make it peg. So
Well,
it's gonna
absorbing values from like 5 chains.
literally, fucking literally. Tell them, bro.
With their layer 2, right? So they're gonna have that layer 2 sitting off the side, so they can connect to these other chains and be able to literally absorb value and become more decentralized and become more protected, in a sense. Not only more decentralized, but more protected, and the whole other aspect of dysomnia, whatever it is, and the social engineering aspect of the token contracts that connect themselves to addresses and things off chain. So it's like adding the real world value and attaching the real world to the blockchain without them even realizing it. Whenever people start to, and then when people that want to utilize it can utilize it with, like, literally taking these addresses and, your social address and your decentralized social address, your decentralized, on your centralized YouTube videos, you can literally hold values, and people can pay right into those wallets that are literally pulling up right then and there. They know how to find it. Yeah. Wow.
What if the game is actually going to just simply be the front end to a whole trading ecosystem of its own?
That's what I was thinking. It's like literally, like in World of Warcraft, when I was playing it, at one point in time, the value of the auction house was worth more than like 4 or 5 countries put together.
Yeah. If you could make
Like
a massive MMO that would be able to fucking, an MMO directly tied to the chain in a way that nobody actually can even comprehend that they are literally playing blockchain.
Correct.
You don't need bots anymore. It builds its own fucking ecosystem that does it all naturally.
Correct. And within the game, that like there's degenerate players, there's people that are going to be playing different things, going off on different, and really natural ecosystem. But the way that he built a Pulse was he had to build degenerate layers to it, because you couldn't teach a bot to go sell crack to an undercover agent somewhere. Like he literally created these liquidity pools in leprosy and cocaine and whatever else he called them for degenerate type of ecosystem play, to where that this DAI would have to fall down to in these certain levels that these bots would actually go and use and utilize, because they wouldn't go trade it otherwise. You can't teach a bot to be degenerate, but you can sure as hell attempt to, and that's their way of putting it. That's their way of putting the way money flows in an economy, a real life economy, with people that are acting degenerate, gambling, whatever it might be, and then entrepreneurs sticking to the entrepreneurial type stuff, and then the degenerate levels of the Atropa system, It's literally the flow of money sees it through an economic flow of like a road on, as different people travel different paths of life with their money and where it ends up, and all the while creating a layer, a heavier and a heavier layer of DAI being more and more, stable, as well as, replicating what the real money does. And by doing so, it's all tracked this time. Like our fiat and our actual ecosystem is everything's trackable, everything's traceable, everything's backed, everything has a reason and a purpose. But we're still utilizing the same social economical aspects that we see within the real world, which is why I believe he created it. And it just so happens to play such a major role.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, what if it's a point that if that game does actually become available to the public, what if the idea is it's doing exactly what the bot's doing exactly what we want to see in Dystonia, as what we've seen Atropa's done to pulsechain in itself, just waiting for user adoption to do it all naturally.
Yeah, but it'd be doing it. It would be doing it to Atropa, because then that would be backing Atropa. Atropa's already backing this. It's just like it's another layer within the layer of an already created, already created and trackable, traceable thing.
Yeah,
but then you're moving it
I was asking
to a DAO.
Of Dystomia was because that makes
That's
a lot.
it. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, I agree. It's literally giving a real world value to where money and how things should flow in an economy, whether it's a game or whatever it is. You have that social level of aspects of how people use that money within the game to help, it become more of a decentralized aspect.
How explosive could it possibly be if the next Grand Theft Auto was to release on blockchain like this?
Oh shit! That might be like.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
There's
and
actually
once you buy shit in the game, you use it.
He's already doing it.
There is literally that many different facets of tokens there, and they were already playing with the idea. If they did that and hooked it directly up to the Dystonia idea,
that's what Richard's doing.
Or am I just going too far off the deep end?
No, because Richard thought of this before we even discovered half of this, so he was already thinking about this. So it's like, no, clearly you're not. No, I'm not talking about Richard Hart. I'm talking about Richard in this chat. Like he's literally creating a game.
Yeah. We say he's creating a game. But what if he's creating the game?
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be people that adopt this method, and they would have to, you'd think, because especially with all the gaming tokens that are out there, this is just, once this starts going out and people start understanding what's going on, it's just another layer of, it might be a layer 2 to where it invites other gaming tokens and other gaming aspects to either, come along or bridge in to where they can all
makes sense.
Take part in their own little ecosystems. Yeah.
Where you would.
I don't know. I don't know if you guys are putting 2 and 2 together to what I'm trying to say here.
No,
what if James is building the fucking smart contracts for the next Grand Theft Auto?
It's gonna be ready for player 1.
No, I don't think he. I don't. In what sense? Like Grand Theft Auto 6, like he's working with Rockstar, or like the next game that's like Grand Theft Auto?
I don't know. It could be the actual one. I don't know.
Jesus Christ, you.
No, I think he's creating an on-ramp. He's showing people an on-ramp. So the people that are actually, builders of games and things like that will understand what he's doing, and they'll be able to grasp the concept, and then they'll be able to, join the layer 2.
I mean, maybe
with decentralizing.
But I know Rockstar was incredibly fucking interested. Let me have a look.
Oh yeah, no, I know they are. That's what I'm saying. But he's what that is what.
Rockstar's
Ready Player
interested with
One.
what?
Yeah, you were touching on that the other night. So it's blockchain, I think.
Yeah, they are. 100% they are.
I mean, yeah, because if there's any links there,
And it's
that's
just like
nutty, bro.
that's a hell of an on-ramping tool. Like that's crazy.
But I
Like
don't
this
know.
just gets deeper and deeper. They literally thought of it all. Especially the off-world aspect.
I mean, it's
Off-chain
meant
aspect.
to be released in 2023 or 2024. They're
There's
talking about using BTC. They might include BTC as well in the game.
well, they're going to change that tone quickly.
Maybe that's why they keep delaying, man. They're just waiting for this shit.
Right. Right.
Imagine.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, if this even ridiculously wild tangent has merit, this is the gateway to adoption.
If
Well,
that happens, that's the greatest call of fucking ever, bro.
well, yeah, that would be. But I'm saying the tangent alone is going to be true. We already know that the Somnia is getting built. We already know that this bridging aspects and everything else is going to happen. Now, like, yeah, as far as other connections and other ties to other bigger corporations that want to get involved, yeah, who knows? That's just a whole nother aspect that we would not know. But I'm sure,
Well,
if
you would
the
think you would
owner
have to have a partnership lined up
exactly.
already.
Yeah, like I'm saying he probably has the money to do so. It's like, as long as and like I'm sure let's say the same way that he walked up to Maker and hey, we're doing this, but be quiet about it. Same way, walked into, seemingly the finance smart chain and this is what we're doing, whether you like it or not. It's just it's unfolded in a way to where they kind of they see the vision, or like it's like there's just so much money involved that they kind of have to do it.
'Cause, I mean, you gotta
And
think about it. The gamers that made a lot of money off
yeah,
games are naturally attracted to blockchain. So I mean, it's not
correct.
it's not completely off
Nah,
world, but
dude, yeah,
that he
yeah, exactly. I
has
always thought,
eyes, he's got a lot of money.
yeah, like if World of Warcraft would have had, I mean, I sold my World of Warcraft account for 7,500 Bitcoin. I didn't even know the Bitcoin, shit. Of course I sold it, but yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. But that's where I found out about Bitcoin. Was playing that. So yeah, like if it would have had the actual utility of that built, like people are still playing World of Warcraft to this day. But if it would have had the blockchain built into it, I would, yeah, shit. I probably would have fumbled that. I probably would have fumbled the bigger bags. So no, maybe not. World, maybe this is another opportunity, but an opportunity where I'm not already rich and I can actually do well and do good with it and build some stuff of my own along the way. Because I think some of the people in this chat have done nothing but provide value. And I think that's the whole point of what we're trying to see here and do here, man. So definitely appreciate everyone coming and tuning in and hanging out. Like, would not think there'd be 20, 30 people in here just chilling. And then every time that I tell them, hey, so there's like 40 people in the thing yesterday, huh? And they're like, dude, there was 200 people. They tune in. I'm like, oh, okay, my bad. So I'm just super excited for tomorrow. That might, that's gonna definitely break.
Yeah, bro. I
Hopefully,
missed
it
the last quarter.
doesn't break the internet.
I've been sick as fuck, but I was curious if there was this much alpha in the other ones the past 2 days.
No, like this is the most alpha that I'm dropping, and this is like one that's scheduled and like we already had.
So I'm a good luck charm. Okay, I got it.
Like there was alpha in the other ones.
Welcome to Alpha Central, right here.
Tomorrow is gonna be the brain of the Mexican or everybody. They're gonna melt. Their jaw gonna fall.
They are gonna
Their
melt.
jaw's gonna fall.
Yeah.
They're gonna be, oh, what the fuck?
Because they're gonna be like, well, what about this? And then I have an answer for it. And then, well, what about this? And then there's an answer for that. It's just I have to wait and see.
you're gonna speak and they're gonna click the button buy. Every time they hear you, they're gonna say, okay, buy more pdai, buy more pdai, buy more pdai.
Well, it's funny because if they were smart, they would buy a Tropo, but we ain't gonna tell them that. Buy both.
Yeah, that's my two largest holdings.
But a Tropo, you're definitely getting more exit at this point, in my opinion, than pdai.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, probably 100x.
Or yes. No, y'all, everyone chill. Stop going to y'all's fucking MetaMask. Let me buy some first. Fuck.
You guys buying a bunch
Does
of the
anyone have any?
Tropa?
Feeling good? Oh, I've already had a bunch of it. I got in too early. I didn't have, oh, not a bunch of it. I mean, it's a decent bag now because it's gone up in price. I also said some.
So Maria in this message is saying when direct Bitcoin to PLS bridge is live, it will boom. It's talking about the copy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming he is because there's already a bridge for the other one. God damn. He's not wrong though. It's literally gonna like send it up. I think that is gonna open when the pulse side has a higher value, in my opinion.
I don't know, man. I just don't know. Anything can happen at this stage, especially when it comes to that Bitcoin bridge. Because that Bitcoin bridge, if it's privacy based, it is absolutely all over. Altcoiners will march.
But yeah. Sorry. I'm close to the rig, so kind of out in the middle of nowhere.
Rig, check your DM real quick. No rush, but
Never.
make sure you check it.
Nah, cool. Definitely super exciting, guys. If I break up here and there, I'm gonna sit back and chill. But yeah, fucking A. What do you